Hey all, Sir Penguin here, and we are back with Chili's Grand Gorge Off. Now, we have already played game one here. We've casted game one of the finals best of three. And if you don't want spoilers and things like that, go ahead and watch the previous videos. Previous videos have a lot of what happens in the tournament. You could go watch there. Otherwise, I am going to get into this, and it is going to be spoiler rife. So, we are diving into game two of Chili's Grand Gorge Tournament, best of three. In this game, in this series, we have got Team Devils. Team Devils going to be spawning on the left side once again, up against Team TBD, to be determined. They are going to be on the right side as well. Now, starting off in the front spot for Team Devils, playing in the pink as the Mongols, we've got Housed Horse. In the second spot, playing as the Byzantines in the orange, we have Mambos. We've been seeing some great ranged play from Mambos, especially in that last game. The Abbasid ranged gameplay was all over the place. In the third spot, Jigglypuff, who has been the knight captain, you might say, continues so as Jeanne d'Arc. This is repeats are acceptable in this tournament, and most players have actually opted to repeat with some changes to Team TBD, which we'll get to. Now, in the back, spot 4 for Team Devils, playing as the English in the yellow is Zardus, who's been playing England and has been putting on an English masterclass for lots of you team folks out there. If you're interested in English team games, this guy has had some really fun gameplay and has been playing really well this series. So check that out. Now, on the other side, for Team TBD, in the front spot, as the Rus in teal, is going to be Erican. I kind of like Rus in the front. You get a Kremlin up and sort of defend early because it's been a high action, high aggro series. In the second spot, blue as the English is Stay Frosty, getting that council hall up now. In the third spot, once again, actually, is going to be Risky as Japan. And that third spot is going to have, looks like, more fast castle action. Going straight to the deer early. Yeah, not too surprising. Going to be Japan in the green. I think I already said that. Now, in the fourth spot, once again, playing the boom, we've got Corvinus in that deep pocket. Purple on the Zhu Legacy. So, what are we going to see here? Well, I like the color combos, actually. It makes it a little bit easier to keep track which team is which in this series. Like I said, we've gotten like some knight combat, a lot of like people trying to zone each other in, walls coming up really close to the edges of bases, a lot of knight combat and a lot of ranged combat in the middle. Though we've had some samurai action, we've had some HRE men-at-arms action, we've seen some really fun gameplay out of this series. And as I said, we've got that Kremlin just coming up on the front. It's not really protecting anything in particular, except these deer, I guess, that are underneath it. But for the most part, I mean, the tree line has spawned behind the Rus player. That's pretty nice. So the Kremlin is just going to zone this. I mean, let's check out the range, right? Where's the range on this guy? Oh, come on. Can we not see the range on the Kremlin? Is that still... You can see it on the TC. Yeah, okay. No range on the Kremlin we could see, but it's about like a tower. I mean, probably like covering a little bit of the sacred site, etc., etc. We've got our feudal ages coming out. Council Hall for Stay Frosty. We've got the Cura Storehouse for Risky. And in the back, Corvinus has actually opted for a forward triple berry meditation garden. And we're going to see that food count start to count up here. It's not at its full yet, so that'll start counting up as it updates. And on the other side, Deer Stones for our Mongol player. We haven't seen any silver trees out for Housed Horse, just going for the Yam network, which is, I would say, is the smart decision, especially in the front here. Another Grand Winery for Mambos. I like the Grand Winery play we've been seeing. A lot of Mercenaries, a lot of Longbows, a lot of Landsconnects. And the Landsconnects will be really nice against Risky's Samurai and things like that. It goes up with the Mercenary House, but stops and deletes it. What are we getting instead? Just no buildings yet. Just kind of booming on triple Cistern at the 5-minute mark. And Jigglypuff, meanwhile, oh, we got some action now. Just a little bit of skirmishing. Jigglypuff, our knight captain in the third spot, just pumping out knights from the School of Cavalry, as he's been doing for the series. I mean, every single game in this tournament, Jigglypuff's main strat has been pump out knights, put on raids with Jean's little squad, and help out the main force of the big knight mass. And in the back, playing as England, I mean, we already talked about this, Council Hall coming up on the stone. So we might see some TCs in a little bit. Although there's stone back here, so you might accidentally steal Jigglypuff's stone. We've got Keshiks coming out. We've got Knights. Team Devils loves this. They've been using it to zone in the opposing team, so let's see what happens here, trying to get Erican off the food, but the Kremlin and the Longbows with Zhuge Nu out of Corvinus's Zhu Shi. Corvinus has opted for units this time, and walls to protect all this food and wood in the base. Nice choice, because he knows after that last game what Devils wants to get going here, and that's a lot of pressure on the edges of the map while fighting in the front. Now Corvinus is getting, we can actually check now, 78 food per minute from this nice berry-focused meditation garden. It's berry-focused, chat. We got Joan killing some boar, getting some extra XP out of it. Let's check out Jigglypuff's XP. Yeah, just gonna get a little bit of XP from that. We got the Archer Mass on the front. Are we gonna see it all in from Team TBD? Team TBD playing the first game really greedy has actually completely changed horses, you might say, into a Longbow Zhuge Nu comp. And I think, yeah, there it is. I was gonna say, Risky's floating gate should already be coming up. So that floating gate is on the way up. Stable, gonna get a Yoroshiro immediately upon the age up. And those mounted samurai are gonna come out and try to counter, I think, all this heavy cavalry that comes out from Team Devils. Heavy cavalry also coming out, and we're gonna open this back up. As much as I like to keep it turned off, we gotta see Erican's food here as the knights are starting to come out for Roos. Risky goes up, first castle age of the game at 8 minutes. Gonna beat that 8:15, that goal for Japan Fast Castle. Pop the Yoroshiro, and I assume go for relics as soon as this, is dealt with. Just chilling for now. I love Roos Knights and Roos Villagers, and just the Roos voice lines are wonderful. All right, we got a little bit of action here, but things are kind of slowing down, except this mass is coming, and I don't think Devils has, responded to this yet. Okay, we have Longbow Limitanai coming out for Zardus and Mambo. So what is Zardus gonna go for? I like it. They see the comp that's coming. Gonna go for Javelin Thrower Limitanai, a very strong Byzantine combo with the Grand Winery. Grand Winery itself also already getting its first olive grove. So going for a bit more of an olive oil boom this time around. Longbow, Javelin Thrower, Limitanai. It's gonna be a fun comp coming into a predominantly archer comp. I mean, Zhuge Nu kill everything. And it's already 3 rams up. I can just imagine Corvinus sitting here going, all right, what are my options? I put Imperial Official on an archery range, maybe? No, I'll just put it in the front so I don't have to block so far. Builds 2 archery ranges up in the front with his Vil. Is actually going to supervise one of them. And this Zhuge Nu mass is going to start being a problem. They also have some spears coming out, but I don't think they're more here to defend against this pressure coming out from the cavalry on the sides. And now, got some mounted samurai shenanigans from Risky. Risky looking for some action here. Fifth cistern has gone up for Mambos. On the opposite side, some Roost Knights. There's a lot of defenses here, but they do pick off a Vil. A knight for a Vil doesn't feel super good though, as we might lose a second knight to longbow. All the knights go down. They trade for maybe a couple villagers. And not enough javelin throwers because, Stay Frosty and Corvinus have been making archers since they hit Feudal Age. And the Zhuge-Nu longbow combo is really strong. It's hard to fight this because it's got the power of both the Zhuge-Nu archer all in and the English archer all in. So it's just gonna be a billion archers. And 4 rams already at the 11-minute mark. So we know what Team TBD wants to do here. How many knights do we have coming out? So it's been sort of a bit of a counterplay to what Team Devils opened this tournament with, this series especially, which is knight aggression matched up with a push through the middle. But here, we're gonna see if this feudal action is gonna be able to sort of shut down Devil's strategy that they've been using to win games here. If you're just joining us, we are watching Chili's Grand Gorge-Off. And here we come with 5 rams as the Zhuge-Nu fire in. Thank you so much, Chili, for hosting this. If you're out there watching some matches, this is awesome. What a great little tournament. Small little tournament, so much fun. So many archers here decide to just face tank the Keshik with the... No, the Zhuge-Nu are using the rams a little bit to try to zone out all this melee damage. And it's working. Able to push the Keshik back, which forces the Limitanei back. And now that archer mass has won this out, and the only archer mass is a few javelin throwers and a lot of longbows for Devils. But you know what? It looks like Corvinus has tanked a little too much damage with these Zhuge-Nu. There's that archer mass for Xardus. Xardus has been playing English archers this whole tournament, and it has been a blast to watch. We've got an engagement between knights. It looks like Risky and Erican have cleaned that up with the Castle Age mounted samurai, and Risky's the only one Castle Age still. So the relics not really coming in, but the main thing coming through for Risky is these mounted samurai, who are so good against archers. These longbows are gonna disappear. They're disintegrating already. Archer's gonna have to focus down the Limitanei, which is, they're sort of focusing them down. You don't want to overkill, of course, but now he's going for kills specifically on those spear units to open the way up for Risky. This longbow mass is getting beefy for Stay Frosty. You know what I love about team games too is stuff like this. Like you kind of get away with, it's annoying that you can kind of get away with like the single unit production, but you get to a point where it's kind of like in Total War they call it sub commanders, where each player is forced into a role. And here, Stay Frosty is playing the archers. That's all he's doing. Corvinus is sort of a support role with the Zhuge-Nu Ram. It's gonna be the siege support role. And Erican has been playing sort of mounted zoning support. Lots of night raids, lots of annoyances for the players in the back, and meanwhile Risky doing the same. These mounted samurai they've just zoning Team Devils in, which is the same strat Team Devils has been using to shut down their opponents. So it's all about this zoning with the 4v4 on this map. getting knights out, forcing your opponent into the skinny line that you have to start in. And that seems like a great way to play this map. It's such a good teams map because you see so many different strategies coming in, but the most aggressive ones seem to be putting, I mean, a lot of these games have been Devils playing defensively with the zoning, but this game has changed that a little bit as Risky has been able, with Erican, have been able to zone in Team Devils, and Corvinus and Stay Frosty have been able to just keep this push up, keep this pressure on. And now, House Horse is forced to abandon the base. Six Rams out now for Corvinus, just a few Jugunu. House Horse abandons, and the Knights are now on Mambo's food, and Mambo's food is also what's providing the few sort of javelin throwers we've seen here, and now Mambo's is idled as well as Housed Horse, and this is not, oh my gosh, this is not looking good for Team Devils as Risky pushes in with those Knights. The archers are just too much. The longbow mass with the ram support and a little bit of Jugunu is just the amount of damage coming out from Team TBD here is just going to be too much for Team Devils, and I like this strategy. They've changed, they've completely turned it around. As in that first game, they really went greedy, and as such, it opened up Team Devils to control the map and get that turnaround. And there goes the second TC for Team Devils as the Byzantine TC is going to go down. Jugunu and Longbow is going to clean up some of those villagers. And yeah, Risky going to go after the javelins and the longbows. We got some more Castle Ages in for Devils, and Devils has been relying on an England, Mambos and Zardas going Castle Age with their like slightly greedier strats, but it's not going to be enough in this game. And yeah, as we see, Devils is going to have to GG out of this one. And the Knight Captain can't do it with the aggression this time around, as Corvinus and Stay Frosty are supported by the Knights of Erican and Risky for this push. And it's just too much. The 17-minute mark, Devils is forced to GG. And we have forced a Game 3. Team TBD making a Game 3 happen here. And we are going to go see what that looks like in just a second. If you're just joining us, like and subscribe on YouTube. We are watching Chili's Grand Gorge off, and we are going into Game 3 of the finals. Thanks all.